Sup everybody, it's D's World. Got a reaction. Okay, I'm about to react. They're about to see about how about to expose Dana White from UFC. So I think it's about probably the money, man. Because if you think about it, UFC has a lot of fans and it's very exciting. I have nothing but love to people right there, and to see they always have the best fighters all the time, and that's why it's great like that. But at the same time, people don't really get paid like that. I was watching them with was it Tito Ortiz? He was talking about this in Vlad TV, I think like 2 years ago or something, when he fought against the Iceman. And I think it was the rematch or the first one. I think it's the rematch though. I think they had about 1.5 million pay-per-view, and he only got around like 200 or 400k, and their pay-per-view made 65 million. So if he's the main event, both of them dudes should have got something nice with that, man. At least something cool. But they got 60, so they got 64 million about that for that. I'm like, man, this dude should have got something like 5 million or 10 million or something, both sides, because these dudes made it big. But yeah, that's why them dudes are still trying to fight right now. So, but yeah, let's see what they're gonna talk about now. So, man, I respect everything about that. I like them, how they fight against the best fighters all the time. But man, they gotta get paid better. That's why boxers right now. I mean, boxers not as big it was, for right now. It's going up and down all the time. But UFC, it's always because they always fight the best fighters and everything all the time. But let's go.
So what was the holdup with the UFC? Like, what led you to not sign?
There was a lot of frustration over the years. I think since my fight against Stipe, my first fight against Stipe, my relation with the UFC never been the same.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? In what way?
I don't know. I tried everything. I felt like I wasn't in the right place. And so after that, then I get the Derek Lewis fight, who was like the worst fight. And that didn't help me at all. I think from that moment, I was already put in some position out there. Because I came back, I won multiple fights, and they came with a new deal. This was after June.
Well, wait, before I keep going with that, it's interesting what he's saying. But at the same time, you looking at him, he's like a champion. This dude's he's a star, man. He is a star. So let's talk about this real quick. This dude, he was the champion for a second. This dude's one of the best ones inside this era right now. And this dude, he don't want to fight right now, but he's gonna box against Tyson Fury. He's gonna make stupid money. He's gonna make millions of dollars. So he's gonna make a lot of money, man. I bet you he's gonna get 10, 15, 20 million, might even more, because it's going to be UFC fans and boxing fans going to collide together, and they're going to make stupid money, man. And plus, they're different countries too, but probably going to fight inside America. But they can probably fight in, I don't know, I got to watch again. They might be fighting inside a big soccer stadium, and that'd be crazy. They're gonna make like 100,000 people in the fans, and it's gonna be crazy because they're big fans right there on both sides. So they might get around 2-3 million pay-per-views. Stupid money, man. So look at it now. He's gonna make a lot of money with that, probably maybe like 20-30 million. You never know how much the pay-per-view, how much they get right there. But yeah, that's right. UFC, they don't really pay that much though, man. That's one thing I don't know. They got to get some kind of, they have to like fight back or have to boycott or something. Say, hey man, give us all like 5% or 10% more or what we do, because you guys are getting way more money for us. Yeah, but anyway, let's keep going.
Dos Santos back in June 2017. And then until my team was on the way to the negotiation, who was in Anaheim when Stipe and DC was fighting the second time. And then I'm like, no. Dana said no new deal for Francis. He still have 3 fights on his contract. And to be honest, I was even happy because I wanted to knock that deal out. By that time, I understood a little bit about the market. I just wanted to fight out my contract and renegotiate as free. But a month after, we get a call from Hunter or somebody there. Yeah, they say let's talk about a new deal for Francis. And at that time, like, there's not a new deal. We just want to fight. It's already September, and my last fight was in June. I want to fight. So the new deal staff be holding me back. They didn't give me a fight.
Because they wanted you to sign a new
They
deal.
wanted me to
and
fight a
you
new
didn't
deal.
want to sign a new
I
deal.
don't
You
want
wanted
a
to
new-
fight your contract down and
I want to
renegotiate.
fight my contract down.
So they were slowing things
They
down.
were slowing things down. So that if you see like the interval between my Junior Dos Santos fight and Jorginho Rosenstruck fight was almost a year. I mean,
It's also COVID, right?
In between, but without COVID, he would have still been like 10 months, right? And then from Rosenstruck to Stipe, same thing. Then Stipe to Ngannou, almost the same thing. It was
Shit.
mostly about the contract.
That's some
So
bullshit.
then finally you fight out the contract, and then what happens?
We didn't come to a agreement at all because during this time, there was still...
As long as you have some good agreement about that stuff for everybody else, like even though I don't like Mayweather at all, I mean I know he's one of the greatest of all time, but this guy, because a lot of people he fought some people that he shouldn't have fought these people at that time, or the person he fought, he wasn't a person that he shouldn't have. But this dude, he's just his promotions and all that kind of stuff. It always made money because his team, not just him, but like his partner with them for him, that dude made heck of money all the time. And if you understand right there, like, what would you rather do? Make 25-30 million doing that against somebody like a C+ fighter? And that's what he was doing for a couple times, man. And people was like, oh, something. But I think that's why I kind of messed up his legacy in a way. But UFC, they always fight against the best of the best of the best of the best. Going against the next number one, number two. Or if you're like a champion, you're always going against the next one. But I'm telling you, the money thing, shoot, I remember I was watching this one, people they're fighting. And this guy, he had about, I think he was getting like 20 bands for the fight, or maybe 15. But it wasn't a pay-per-view. It was a regular on ESPN. And he was trying to get the knockout. I think you get like 60 bands if you knock somebody out. And he knocked the person out. And this guy, it has like 4 or 5 fights first. And he's the first fight. And he knocked him out, like put him to sleep. And he's like, oh, hopefully I get the knockout from the night so I could get the bonus because it's going to help my family. And like everybody got knocked out though. So I don't think he didn't even get that. I was like, damn, all bad. He only got 15 bands with that. I mean, that's cool, 15 bands, but if you're a fighter, you have to do something else, man. You have to have like a part-time job. You got to do this, you got to do that. You got to do something. You can't just do that all the time. You're not going to get paid that much, man. So anyways, let's go.
Negotiation, pushing and stuff, and I wanted to fight out that contract. Proposal of money, obviously they know my position because I was pressure financially. When you have a fight, you expect to fight at least at that level. At that moment, I was expecting to fight at least 2 or 3 times a year, right? Then I get to the point that I have one fight, I have nothing. So I was limited of income, stuff like that. Then I started borrow money. Even before the Stipe fight, when they announced that fight, I need to call to ask for advance of my purse to finance my training camp. I have no money, but I was there training and getting ready for almost a year, so I took some advance. So
That's got to be very stressful.
yeah, but one thing, and that's like one thing that I'm always grateful about my life. I used to this situation, and I told myself like, these people, they don't know me. I can live out of nothing. I live in in the street, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and then I'm here in Las Vegas. You think like, okay, I don't fight. I just have to change everything. I'm able to live out of the bare minimum. And I don't care if I walk around, you guys say, oh, champ, oh, that's a UFC contender, whatever it is. Man, I just live based off what is in my base of my asset. I don't live beyond that. That's why I don't really trust those credit card system or those loan and stuff. That's America shit, bro. I don't trust that because when he lets you down, he lets you down.
Yeah, for sure.
I check my...
And at the same time, man, if you're a fighter, you're not going to fight the rest of your life. You might even go in your 20s, early 30s if you're professional. And after, what are you going to do after? You're going to have a messed up brain, or you might have an injury and stuff, man. And if you're not getting paid that much, it's like, dang, it's all bad. That's why a lot of them dudes after they retired, a lot of them on UFC, you got to see that they're really broke. That's why you have all those people that's trying to do other other promotion places and trying to fight when they're older and stuff, and they get injured more because they trying to get paid. Like, yeah,
I
let's
check
keep
my
going.
wallet, whatever is in my wallet, I live based on that. I don't go loan and stuff unless like I'm forced at some point, or it's an investment, like having taking the money, borrowing money for your training camp.
Right.
That's a different thing.
UFC yearly holds.
So you win the Cyril Gane fight. Then what happened?
Well, then first Dana didn't come to the ring, to the octagon for the belt. Yeah, and then after that, they get this dinner, invite us to this dinner, trying to smooth things out. Again, the condition at that time, I think at that time for me, he was more than a contract. He was like a lot of frustration from the past almost 3 years, I'm like, okay, I have no guarantee that signing this contract, I will not get into what I have been to in the past 3 years. So how about we change something that will make me feel secure?
And what did you want to change?
A lot of things. I want in my contract. First of all, I want a contract without extension, because I have seen how they can abuse of those extension.
Can you explain to me how the extension works?
Oh, well, I mean, there's not a way that it works. The extension is that because they say if you deny a fight, they can extend you for 6 months or something. If you're hurt and can't fight, they can extend you for 6 months or something. But the problem, the UFC is the judge and the party. They decide if we extend you. You have no say. So when they say, oh, you fight tomorrow, you say, no, I'm like, okay, no problem. We were just checking. And then maybe a week after, you will receive a letter of extension, like your contract has been extended once. And that's what happened with me.
If you're injured, like say if they propose a fight for you, like here we are in September. If they propose a fight for you in Madison Square Garden in November, and you say, I can't.
I'm listening to him saying, but look, he's high. Oh man, Joe Rogan, that dude is. He's looking, man. He's a shout out to Joe Rogan, man. Chiefin'. He doing it. He always doing his thing, man. Sure.
Because I'm injured.
Oh, no, that extension.
Then they
For
put up
sure.
a 6 month extension
Oh,
in
yeah,
the contract.
that's extension. That's,
Anytime you refuse a fight, is that what it is?
Yeah, and refuse is subjective.
Right.
Depend of the
It
term
could
of
mean
subject.
you can't fight because you're injured, like when you tore your knee ligaments.
Oh, no, that is an extension.
Extension.
Yeah, that's clearly an extension. For example, my extension, for example, the first one, when I fought Stipe, right? And I have been fighting almost once a year in the past 3 years. I fought Stipe on March 27, and then April 2nd, Mick is calling my team. And I tell them like, oh, I want to fight, stay active. I want to fight twice this year again. Summer, which is July or August, and December. And then April, they are calling to ask me to fight, and I was getting ready. It was a big moment in my life. I'm like, I'm bringing this trophy home. Right? And they called to ask me if I can fight in June 12th. I'm like, bro, give me a time. I mean, if they say no, we were just offering in case, because Francis said he want to fight twice this year. I'm like, yes, I do. And I said July the earliest, and August and December. And I know that I can take 2-3 weeks out, maybe go home, do stuff, and come back. And they say, no, it's okay, no problem, we were just checking. A couple months after, I received an extension about that.
Exposing it, So UFC is cool, man, like I said, but pay these people more. Like I just talking about that guy, when that person knocked him out and he got 15 bands, you got to think about this. That dude has to pay for his coach. You got to pay for his coach, his trainer, whatever you call it. You got to pay for his team that's helping him, like his cut man. You got to pay for this and this. Unless UFC can have their own one. I think you have your own cut man. But anyways, then you have to pay for training right there for what, that 6-8 months, maybe 10 months, whatever it is. Then you have to pay for this. So what? You're going to cut it more. And then that, let's say you gets like 8 bands or 10 bands with that or something, and you only fight for maybe around 4 or 5 months, maybe 6 months, 8 months. You never know. And then how you gonna pay that for the rest right there? You're not getting paid that much, man. How you gonna make money for your future right there? Because you're trying to pay right there so you can provide yourself, your family, and yeah, all that kind of things. And that's why, to me, I love they fight the greatest fighters, the best fighters all the time, but they just got to get paid more, you know? Especially like the come up guys right there, the guys that's coming up and getting good and stuff right there. You got to let these guys get paid a little more too. Just like I'm talking about right there, man. These dudes, UFC make stupid money. A lot. You get, like I said, 15. The one I see earlier right there, dudes get 15 pay-per-views every year. That's a lot of money, bro. A lot of money. But hey, this is interesting, man. Tell me what you think about this, man. Should they get paid more? I say yes, they should. If you say no, you tripping. You gotta understand, that's putting your body on it. You know, man. But anyways, let's go, man. Hit me in the comments. Tell me what you think about this. Like, subscribe, show love. It's D. All right, peace.